Let's talk about how busy it is. I know there's a lot of challenges that come with being busy. There's also great things that come with being busy. But yeah, let's segue into that. Maybe give us an update on like how busy are we?
Busy.
Well, it's always like we're busy being busy or busy trying to be.
Mhm.
I think right now the industry as a whole is busy being busy.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people are going to be a little more busy than others. Some people don't want to be any busier, and I applaud those folks.
No.
For sticking to what they do and doing what they do well. But yeah, I'd say in general, activities up. The type of work that's going on is changing a little bit. We're starting to see more, acquisition type work from just the organic side of things. People are starting to, do some leasing work to step out. And I think that's just some overall optimism in the long range view of things, in particular on the natural gas side. We're starting to see some parts of the country get active on the natural gas side, which is always good for landmen. I mean, the reserves are there. People know where gas is. It's just a matter if it's economic to go after it. So anytime you start to see some optimism in the long range view, people get out and start looking for drillable locations. And so that involves us getting busy pretty early. As far as due diligence, we started to see a pickup in that as well. Not the big, huge, like end of year blockbuster trades that you read about, but a lot of small stuff. People are active, and we're getting calls for trades. We're getting calls for smaller bolt-on type things, and so that's been keeping us quite busy. I mean, we're juggling two of three of them at a time, at least down here in our region and the western side of the country. But renewables, Steve, why don't you give us a little rundown just on what we're seeing on the renewables front?
You guys want to talk about first the Texas, what was it, Texas State 1172 that came out, which is a good thing for landmen. So it is taking the necessity of licensing away from renewable projects, which is great. I know there's a lot of tension, fright from a bunch of our clients on the progression of that. So kudos to the AAPL for stepping in there. We are seeing not much of a slowdown in the acquisition, but a lot more title work, as Brent had mentioned earlier, with Greg coming on. We're venturing into some other areas. I know we've got some geothermal projects coming up, some more lithium projects. So away from the standard of solar and traditional wind that we saw for the past couple of years, which is great. Those are some bigger size projects and able to put more folks to work. To Brent's point about optimism, though, on the oil and gas side, it's nice to see some areas that we haven't worked in 5, 10 years. See some interest in those outlying areas that aren't the core locations we've been used to. So, I think general just optimism from both sides that's leading this surge in work and the need for landmen.
Yeah, I think it's great that we actually had these few years, and now that I don't know if there's a sour taste, or maybe there's the opposite of optimism on the wind and solar side, kind of just that feeling. People are going, well, we're in this business. What can we do to, keep this business going? The hydrogen and lithium and geothermal, those are great segues for those companies and great segues for landmen to kind of go. And we're definitely seeing a little uptick in those different.
From being at that conference, I don't think the optimism's there on the renewable side right now. I think there's a lot of uncertainty of what's going to happen in the political landscape and what's going to come down with the original infrastructure bill and how those regulations and timelines might change. So you see some folks who are really rushing to get projects going off the ground quick to make sure they hit their deadlines if those limitations of years come down. But that's to be seen in the next probably 6 to 12 months of what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I think internally as a team, we're all of the opinion that by the end of the year, we'll have a lot better feel for what the next 24 months look like on the traditional renewable side.
Yeah. What I can say is we met with a lot of data center folks out there, and it's weird because all of a sudden you're seeing this shift from oil and gas is bad and green is good to now we need oil and gas. So Natalie and I were joking. We're kind of hoping that data centers are the conduit to all of us playing nice in the sandbox together.
No.
Yeah. Well, we've all talked about that, right? It's like a big rush. There was a lot of incentive put on getting these projects off the ground. So you get a big rush. Now it's going to tighten up, and that's as expected, right? Nobody expected anything different from a administration standpoint. So now you're going to be left with the people who have good businesses, have strong strategies, have great teams that execute well. And so it's going to kind of clean things out a little bit. You're going to be left with the survivors. And that's how it should be, right? The strong survive. And that's, I feel, what the next 12 to 18 months is going to be. We're going to be left at the end of this thing with people that have money invested, that have projects that are viable, not stuff that they're throwing up against the wall. And we're going to start looking for ways that we can take all this and blend it and be more of an integrated energy sector. And you're right, the data centers, they're the mediator, right? Let's all be friends. So that's exciting. Data center business is super interesting. There's a lot of interest in it last year. I can say for sure. I mean, I know Natalie has been very involved in that, in representing the company and really the landman profession in the data center side of the space, right?
Well, I didn't tell you guys. We came up with this great idea for the RE Plus and Yada conference. We're gonna have the Dirty Power Happy Hour.
Let's go.
I mean, let's go.
Let's go. You got me all wheezing now, Steve. Oh, that'd be good. Let's just cut the shit. You know what I mean? You need this power, baby. You know you like it.
How funny.
Oh,
We're gonna have to get some hats made, Steve. Or
I
at least
think
some
so.
T-shirts.
DPHH.
Who's your dirty power?